everybody. This is Tippy.
And this is Joe.
And you're listening to The Tippy Joe Show, sponsored by BetterHelp.com/The Barn.
If it's all right, I want to kick it with you all night, all night. Have a good time. Ain't got to worry because it's all right.
Well, hello, Joe.
Hi, Tippy.
How's it going?
Going pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It actually was a fantastic day for me, so I'm in a super good mood.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we got Drew Wall here. How's it
that's
going,
me.
Drew?
It's going pretty good. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And we got Brett on the set.
Hi. I'm in front of the camera now.
Hey,
Yeah.
that rhymed, by the way.
It
Brett
did.
on the set.
I'm on the set.
We'll have to do that as like a segment.
Brett
can you
on the
see it?
set. It's just like it's him being frustrated with chords. That's the segment. Fucking shit.
Just like being wrapped up in them.
Turn the volume down.
like you make guitar
Love it.
chords. So that would be a thing too. Yeah, I would.
Hey, either one works for you, man. Either way. Podcast chords, guitar chords. Works out.
Harpsichords.
Oh, do you?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Oh, God.
Okay,
This is Drew. This is my friend Drew.
It's great to have you on the show.
Hey, it's good to be here.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 39. I grew up in Deloge. Well, I grew up in DeSoto. I moved to Deloge in my sophomore year, and went to college at MSU for theater. I dropped out. Well, I failed out 3 times because I am consistent. Thank you. And then I moved to California when I was 20 in Long Beach, and I lived there for like 17 years. Did some traveling, lived at some communes around the country, but I just moved back here because my life fell apart about a year ago.
That's what I'm saying.
I love he breathes real fast. I've lived in some communes around the
I know, right? We're not going to touch on it.
Yeah.
What kind of commune, sir?
They were all actually Christian communities. I became a Christian at the age of 20. I had a pretty intense experience with God. I've since deconstructed, am no longer a Christian, but I was very committed to Jesus, and I fell in love with love. There was this neo-monastic movement. So like monasticism is like monks, and like there was this movement of people moving into like houses and stuff in inner cities and just sort of dedicating their lives to love and like serving their community, and that was really compelling to me. So I started traveling and living at these communities that I had read about in books and stuff, and getting apprenticeships with and internships at these places, because I wanted to the reason why I was in the theater wasn't because I loved theater. I think it was because it was where I found community. I didn't realize that until later, but I grew up really alone, and so like friendship and community is extremely important to me. And what I learned there was just like how different communities survive for longer periods of time, because like community is this thing that sort of happens and it bubbles and it sort of dissipates, and you don't have that same web of relationships forever. So what does it take to sustain webs of relationships? What does it take to build like trust or spaces where people can be honest and trust each other in community and relationship? And so I started my own intentional community in like 2017 in Long Beach called Ruach. I was a yoga teacher, and I had these like every Monday I'd teach a class where like 200 people would show up in the park, and so I just started inviting people from there. And I facilitated a 3-hour meeting every week for a year and a half. And then I gave it to them and let them start facilitating it. But it was probably the most important and beautiful work I've ever done. Like, it was the most fulfilling. When I met these people, they didn't have each other, and then they did. And those people are still friends, they're still in each other's weddings and getting married to each other and doing cool shit. So that's really what I feel like my life's work is about, is building community. And since moving back here, I'm just like a waiter now, and I don't have like necessarily a post in my community where people listen to me very often. So it's hard for me to build that sort of community here at the moment. And music and songwriting has been sort of my way of finding an avenue of saying the things I need to say and to sort of society at large. So my drive into music, I think, is still a drive towards community, making music with other people and all that. I'm still looking for other people to make music with, so if you're a folk musician, shout the fuck out. Okay, so yeah. So friendship, It's, I think, where the juice of life is, and we don't really take it seriously enough. And I think if we're going and heading into like a really fascist direction in our country, which seems to be happening, then large webs of loving relationships are a baseline part of the answer of how we need to survive as human beings.
I can understand that
Yeah.
completely, judging just as looking past history of things that have happened, and it was
Yeah.
mainly a community of people sticking their necks out for each other that got others through certain
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah, like that's what you're gonna need if you're just living in a small town and there's a bunch of angry men and trucks roaming around looking for people with
for one to drive
with
by.
bumper
Yeah, which we do
stickers on their
have
car.
a lot of that here in this small town.
I live in the next small town. I'm really aware. I'm hyper aware of it. So, but you'll need that also if you're thrown into a situation where you don't have rights. Like, you'll still need to be able to connect with people and trust people.
Yeah.
Like, and trusting people is really hard. It's really hard for me, and I think that's why I've focused so much on building places where trust can happen. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it fucking is, isn't it? Yeah.
So like we're really big on community. So everything
Yeah.
you're saying is like really hitting home.
Good.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's important. Super important.
Yeah, it's been hard for me to find community here in Missouri in general. Like, I have friends at work and stuff like that, but like breaking into a friend group, I've been here for almost 2 years and it just hasn't fucking happened. Not that I'm not trying.
Wasn't it weird moving back here? Because, like, I was in Florida for, 10 years or something like
Yeah.
that, and then kind of just left everyone.
Yeah.
And moved back, I'm like, who the fuck do I know still?
Yeah, what do I do? You know,
Who has
Like,
hair?
So
Not you.
So I grew up pretty depressed. I hated living here when I grew up, and as I moved back here, I committed to myself to stay curious about the places and people around me. I've never went to Johnson Shut-ins until 2 weeks ago. I lived here my whole life. I never went to Johnson Shut-ins.
I don't think I've ever been
I went to
either.
Elephant
I don't
Rock
think
for
I
the
have
second.
either, so
Let's
that's no
negative.
surprise.
We
Wait,
should
I
be
thought they
doing this
closed
podcast
down.
at Johnson
I thought they did
Shut-ins.
too a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Well,
people
because
die
so
there
many
all the
people.
time, so-
yeah.
Yeah.
They shut it down for a little bit,
Yeah.
open it
But they're
back
just
up.
like, it's the Earth, it's dangerous, go play.
Right.
So yeah, but I don't remember what I was saying. What was I saying?
You've never been to Johnson Shut-in whenever
Yeah.
you lived here.
Oh, so I just committed to being curious about the people and places around me, and that is saving my life. Just like I go kayaking all the time, I go
Yeah.
hiking, go to rivers, and I just like even people that I thought that I knew before I left. Like I've committed to stay curious and interested about like what they're actually about.
Yeah.
Because there's when you're depressed, it's just like this apathy that just kind of takes over. That you're just
Yeah.
like, fuck, I don't care. And you know what? I fucking care. And I think that's the
Yeah.
difference between me living here now and then when I was a younger man.
Yeah, when did you leave Missouri? again?
2005.
Okay, so that was right after high school then, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
20. I was 20. Yeah. But I'm here and I'm 39 and I don't have any hair and it's great.
Well, I didn't know you with hair.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I was sexy as
this
fuck.
is normal
I
to
had
you.
a mane.
Dude, I feel like you had like long hair like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I did. I only shaved my head like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, because I just started like having to do a little comb over and I was so fucking insecure about it. And I was like, I'm wasting so much energy being insecure about my hair. I'm just going to shave my head and be a fucking bald man. And
Well, it suits you.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Own it.
it's-
You know what
yeah.
I mean? You just
It-
gotta own
It
your
hasn't-
insecurities.
the ladies like some bald dudes. Some ladies like some bald dudes at least, and that's better than no ladies at all, which I thought was my future. So, hey, ladies.
This is Drew Wall.
Drew Wall. Find him on
And he
Facebook,
shaves his
Instagram.
head.
So
On
somebody
purpose.
told me that you used to live in a camper while you traveled.
Oh, I not while I traveled. I lived in an RV for 2 years.
Yeah?
After I separated with the mother of my child, my daughter is 10. Her name's Aurora. She's living in Long Beach, California with her mom. Being here is hard because I miss her every day. But when I moved out from that situation, I moved into an RV and honestly, like after living in community and being so community minded, living in my RV alone was my favorite living situation I've ever had. It was like living in the biggest backpack you've ever had.
That's fun.
Like all my shit was with me. Like if I took my daughter to the park for the day, like we can get out of the sun, I can make her a meal, read her a book, we can go back and play. We can just be there. We don't have to rush home because she
Yeah.
has to poop or like because she's hungry or whatever. There were so many conveniences about it. It comes with its own set of like, oh, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Finding parking and stuff and being harassed and getting your shit broken into while you're sleeping and like having to wake up and defend
Ooh,
yourself. It's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like a blast.
But I plan to move back to California as soon as possible. Like, my life fell apart. I came back, fixing my credit, getting out of debt and all that, making some leeway on that right now, which is fantastic. But I plan on buying an RV and moving back out, because if I buy a nice RV, my payment's like $800 a month. A 1-bedroom apartment in Long Beach is like $2,100.
Yeah.
Say like 800.
And and like I buy
saving
something
money
nice,
like that.
I own it, and shit hits the fan, I can just drive somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
still have everything that I have.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So, because I don't have a lot of trust in what's happening in our country, so I'm acting on that as well. But yeah, living in an RV is great. If I had a 23-foot Class C RV, and like a bathroom, a kitchen, a closet, had solar panels, had like everything. I don't think I could live in anything smaller than that. I couldn't do like van life.
Yeah.
But I could do an RV again for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I think that would be a super interesting experience to have, to live out of an RV for just a
Yeah.
minute. I wouldn't want to do it forever, of course,
Yeah.
because I like things,
Yeah.
mostly clothes, and there's
I
not
wouldn't
enough
wanna,
space for
Like take a
clothes.
year
Yes.
and just get a camper and just
I wouldn't
around
want to do
America.
it so
with
cool.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Even with people that I love. I would not want to live in an RV with another person.
Yeah.
But as a single human being, it's fucking
Because you can do whatever the hell you want, man.
Whatever the hell, wherever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like.
You can pee
freedom.
naked if you want.
That's the only way I tend to do it, man.
You do, like, when you're out and about, do you just strip it all off before you pee?
When I'm
or-
like at a urinal, I drop my drawers to my ankles.
I was getting ready to bring that up. I did
there
that
you
at
go.
Yeah.
DeSoto High School. My brother had a basketball game, and I was like 5. I remember, and all the guys in the bathroom were making fun of me because I just went shoop.
Do you remember we went to Six Flags on our senior trip thing, and
Yeah.
I pissed my pants on the tidal wave?
On purpose.
Yeah. It was for a laugh.
There was a lot of weird shit we did back in high school.
Well, we were heavily influenced by Jackass, which was
This is true.
So how long have the two of you known each other officially?
since sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
So 2001.
One, yeah.
Yeah, back before 9/11.
Dang.
Yeah.
Twin Towers still standing, huh?
Pre 9/11
Dang.
buddies, huh?
Absolutely. Huh? Back when the world was different. All right.
Oh, let's hear about what happened to that RV though.
Oh God! So I was.
seeing that.
It was Father's Day weekend, and my intentional community. We all went up to Big Bear, which is a mountain like in a ski resort range in California, and we were driving back. I had 5 people with me. We're coming down the 33, which is the highway that comes down Big Bear Mountain. Super windy. My brakes go out on my RV. And I had to flip it to avoid driving off the edge of a cliff.
Oh my gosh,
I had
that's
to, like,
scary.
with 5 people in it, and like the only one person got hurt, and it was because I had this big thick like iBook, like one of the old ones that are just like, and it smacked him in the head.
That was the only thing.
Only thing.
That's
Wow.
wild.
Yeah, but like it was the most disorienting. I'd never been in a car accident as a passenger, or a driver, besides that one in my whole life, and it was just like.
And it was an RV flipping.
Yeah,
not just
I was like,
yeah.
it was my house though. It was
Yeah.
everything, and like it was just like, what the fuck? I like apartment sat for like 2 months after that. I hated not having my own space, but then I got like the raddest house I've ever lived in, so that was nice.
I think the downside of the RV life is don't fucking wreck it.
Right,
Like-
because you're super fucked if you
Yeah.
do. You don't have a life after that. Yeah,
You gotta test your brakes.
dude. I will test my brakes every day for the rest of my life after that. It's better than shitting your pants.
Or, I mean, kissing them.
Because you're driving off the edge of a
Oh, that
mountain.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
you shit before impact.
You're driving off the edge of a mountain.
What if that was like your last thought? Is like my pants are full of my shit.
Yeah,
Damn,
you're all dying. Your only
They're gonna
concern
find
is
me
that I
with shit in my like
pants.
all over me.
I hope there are other more important things in one's life that would flash before their eyes before they meet their maker, other than
More
like,
important-
oh, I have shit in my
Man.
bag.
Yeah. More important than thinking about what people you don't know are gonna think about
Exactly.
you. What are you thinking, Tippy? There's nothing more important than that. That's what I spend all my energy on.
Oh, is it?
No. I don't give a lot of fucks.
What else could we get into?
Same though, not giving a lot of fucks.
Yeah.
And that's like key to just fucking being a person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
you just cannot give a fuck about what other people
Yeah.
think
So,
because
like,
you'll waste too much time.
Well, I grew up here, and I have a lot of feminine energy. A lot of people thought I was gay. Some people still do. I'm not. Never have been. But it wasn't like I got flack just for being myself. Like
Yeah.
growing up, I got my taillights busted out of my fucking car. They wrote "fag" on the hood of my convertible and shit. Like
In
A
high
lot of
school?
internalized.
Wait, on the fucking LeBaron?
on the LeBaron.
No way.
Yeah, they did.
That's what it
This
was.
guy took me to get my, no, not my first tattoo, but like we went to Farmington to get it colored in, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the star.
Yeah,
No,
I do remember that.
Yeah, we're like, let's get it blue. Let's
Damn.
we drove to Farmington in the LeBaron.
I think I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow, guys.
Where?
You're getting a tattoo tomorrow?
I'm getting some of my daughter's art on my arm. I'm gonna start a
Oh,
sleeve.
that's
That's
cute.
good.
It's a dragon with googly eyes.
I love it.
I'll have to show you. It's fucking
Yeah.
dope. Can I tell you a little bit about how I got into music real
Of
fast?
Yeah,
course, yes.
absolutely.
I taught myself to play guitar a little bit in high school. I never learned how to play and sing at the same time. Just like learned like a bunch of Blink 182 riffs and shit, and some
As we all
Creed.
did, yeah.
We-
And
well,
some
it's what-
Creed.
and which what you did. But in October actually, I was just feeling like adrift, and I was like, I had a guitar still. I hadn't played it in like years, and I was like, I need some discipline in my life. I'm going to commit to playing this guitar for an hour a day because I want to learn how to play and sing at the same time.
Don't you pat
That's
me.
my girl over here with
Yeah?
the ukulele.
Yeah, I saw
3
I saw your
days
post
in, she
earlier.
doing
You're
good.
killing it,
I'm
Riptide. I've seen that
trying,
shit.
I'm trying.
Good job. Keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Thank you, thank you.
And so I started playing like an hour a day, and then music's always been really important to me. Lyrics have always been really important to me. Other people's music has gotten me through a lot of shit that I would not have gotten through otherwise. And I was just like, I don't feel like I'm hearing the music that I need to hear. Like, it's not speaking to me. It's not saying the thing that my soul needs right now to resonate with. So I'm just going to start writing those songs that my soul resonates with. And I took a songwriting course. It was like one of the best decisions of my adult life. And that started in January. So I just started writing songs in January. I only produced one song so far with a producer, but I have a bunch of demos, so I haven't released much. But I just love writing songs. Like the first time I've been a yoga teacher for 13 years, and the first time I did yoga, my body was just like, fuck yeah, we're doing that forever.
Yeah.
And when I started writing songs, it just felt the same way. I was just like, son of a bitch, I feel so alive. Like, and I'm in a place where I don't like have a lot of community. I don't have a lot of influence in this community, and like who I was in California is not who I am here. And so just having my own voice and being able to create something and look at it and be like, oh, I fucking mean that. And now it's in the world. Like, it's just really compelling to me. And so I hopefully am recording an album next month when I have some time off. I'm a floor manager at a jazz club in St. Louis, and we have a break. So I think I'm be recording my album then. And that's what's going on.
That's super awesome.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
cool. I write a lot about the human, like me, just the human condition. Write a lot about like just how fucked it feels to be here at this time in history, and I use a lot of metaphors because I don't want you to know what I'm really saying, which is
Gotta be a thinker.
I am gay. No.
Yeah, this man stood up on the.
This is me not sucking dick. Do you see me not sucking dick? Okay.
No, this man stood up on top
That's a
of the lunchroom table in high school and yelled fucking estrogen.
Estrogen.
And we got in trouble.
Got detention for it.
And why did you do that?
Because it's true.
For estrogen?
Can we have
Estrogen.
some context?
Like, what
It was pretty random. You have to remember at that time there was like popular humor was getting very random. We had like Homestar Runner, E-Bombs World was just getting going, like internet shit was just starting to happen, and like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like it was just really fucking random. And so I think me doing that was one, just needing attention, and two, knowing in that context, whatever it was, that would be funny. And it was, because we just told a story 25 years later. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuck with you.
I remember. There's plenty of more stories. I mean, where can we start?
Oh, you want to talk about Leo?
Yeah.
Who's Leo?
I'll let Drew.
We'll tell you.
Let you set it up.
All right, so like I said, Brett and our like group of friends in high school, we were into Jackass. Brett made a fucking film called Heinous.
I did. I still have it. It's on VHS.
We'll have to watch
It'll be
that.
airing soon on the Tippy Joe Show.
Yeah, it's as it should. Yeah, you should.
It might
revisit
be on a
that.
DVD somewhere. I'll have to look.
You should definitely check into that. So we were at the Deloge City, like
Was it Labor Day?
Labor
or
Day
was it-
weekend picnic, and
Yeah.
it was like right before our senior year started, or junior
Yes,
year.
it was.
Senior year.
It was our senior year before that. Yeah.
So we were filming ourselves running into the side of outhouses while people were in
Inside.
them, and then
And then watching them come
watching
out.
them and filming them as they come out, and just like the reactions on their faces. And
So now
stuff.
you're just hitting it, not knocking it over.
not
No,
over,
okay.
just,
Okay.
but like running
Just
into it enough to
spooking the
scare
shit.
the shit out of people.
Scaring the shit out of people,
Yeah.
literally. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we're 17 and we're having a good time, and it's me and you and Shad and Caleb.
Was it Shad?
Yeah, it was Shad and Caleb.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know Shad.
Oh,
I
do
mean,
you?
how many Shads can there be?
You know
really?
Shad?
You know what I mean? I do know Shad.
All right. Well,
I think I used to buy weed from Shad.
that sounds.
That sounds
I mean,
like
it's
Shad.
legal now, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
He doesn't watch this. Hi, Shad.
Hi, Shad. So we're doing this, and this man and this enormous woman are walking by, and I'm not fat phobic or anything. This woman, for the sake of the story, was very big, and so they're walking by, and this guy, like under his breath, is like, "How you guys want to make $500?" and just keeps walking, and I'm just like, so we're like, we all looked at each other. We all looked at each other, and he's walking away, and like.
He was hammered though.
He
too.
was
Both of
hammered.
them were hammered.
Guy, you know, like very tan skin, just like tattoos everywhere. Looked like he's been living outside on his lawnmower or whatever.
Well, you know where you live. in
Yeah,
that fucking trailer park.
we'll talk about that in a minute. So,
They took the $500.
so we're like, yeah, we chased him down. We're like, yeah, we want to make $500. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I'll give you $500 to beat up my stepson.
What?
Oh my god.
Put him in the hospital. Put him in the hospital. Put him in the hospital.
No.
Yeah.
And
Like, he
it was
was
this
serious.
lady's son?
No, not his son.
Okay.
I think it
Different
was from
woman's.
a, yeah,
Okay.
different woman. Yeah.
So we're like, we all like looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we'll beat up your stepson. And so he's like, all right, his name's Sean.
Oh,
He lives. It was
It
Sean.
was Sean?
Yeah. And he's like, he lives in the Pin Oak Apartments.
What's the Pin Oak Apartments,
in Park Hills. And so we're like, and he, I don't know, he gave us his information, I think his phone number or something, and was like, call me after you do it and come on by. And we're just like, okay. So he leaves and we're like, okay, so fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We're obviously
Are we doing this?
we're obviously not gonna beat this guy up. Right?
We didn't even know what he looked like.
We didn't know what he looked like. We didn't know if he had a gun. We didn't know. We don't fucking know. We're
Yeah.
fucking 17, you know. And who is this guy just randomly hiring 3 or 4 kids at the park?
Yeah.
Like who sees us and is like these skater kids who are like just
Yeah, they probably look like a bunch of ruffians that would do it.
It's like I see
with
this
our
guy,
with our frosted tips.
yeah,
and like,
bouncing off outhouses. That's my guy right
Then
there.
the delinquent.
Yeah,
Test
yeah.
him.
So we're like, we're obviously not gonna beat this guy up. Like, what do you want to do? And so we come up with this plan that we're gonna drive there. We're gonna knock on his door. We're gonna tell him that his stepdad offered us $100 to beat him up, and we'll give him $50 if he just goes along with the story. So we end up pocketing $450.
Nice.
And no one's the wiser. And the guy doesn't get his ass kicked. We don't get shot.
Yeah.
You know. So
Story.
me and Caleb and Brett.
No refunds.
Me and Caleb and Brett, we drive over to the Pin Oak Apartments, and we find his apartment. The lights are on. We knock on the door, and the lights go off. We're just like, what the fuck? Like, and there's 3 of us out there, and we knock again and again, and like eventually, the door opens. It's dark inside, and this woman answers the door.
Didn't we go to school with her or something? I was like, this?
Yeah, it was somebody's older sister
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pyatt or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, so she's like, what do you guys want? And we're like, it's kind of complicated. And we kind of told her the story, and they're like, and she's like, hold on. It's just like, she goes inside, the lights turn on, and they open the door. And we meet Sean.
Yeah.
And Sean is like, I don't know, like 5'7".
But he was stocky. Like, he was a big dude, wasn't he? I thought he could have kicked my ass.
Well, I don't know if that's saying much. But like we could have taken that guy. The three of us could have beaten that guy up.
Yeah.
Just law of averages. But you know, and we start explaining to him what's going on. And he's like, yeah, okay, we'll go along with it. Come here. And so we go into this guy's bedroom.
Oh, fuck.
And this guy's bedroom is just like rug to ceiling fucking Scooby-Doo.
Like shit. And like, think of my house
But
of my action
Scooby-Doo?
figures, but all fucking Scooby-Doo shit. Like blankets, fucking
Like curtains,
stuffed
rugs.
animals, everything. It's
Yeah.
fucking...
And he's a grown man, so that's just his life. And we're just like, oh, okay. And so we start talking. We're like, listen, we got to go to Leo's, but like we got to look like we got roughed up a little bit, like we actually got into a fight with this guy. So we mix fake blood
With soap.
and,
Hand soap.
and food coloring
Yeah.
in this guy's kitchen.
Oh my
And like we're putting on our
gosh.
knuckles and stuff.
I feel like
And-
we punched ourselves in the face a couple times.
That part of the story's coming.
Oh, okay. Now I'm remembering it.
You jumped the gun there, Bert.
Sorry.
And for the record, you were the only person punching yourself in the face. So.
So I can kick my own ass,
He's like,
apparently.
for sure, if anybody's gonna be kicked, it's me. I better.
So, for some reason, Brett had to go home. I think you had your dad's truck. Mm-hmm. And so Caleb and I were the only ones who went over to Leo's trailer park. And Leo's trailer park was down the hill in Park Hills from the police substation right off 67, where I turned to go to your house now.
Holy shit, that's where it was?
That's where it
We
was.
understand this.
Yeah.
He punched himself in the face and did himself up with fake blood.
But
then
didn't go. Didn't go.
Because he didn't punch himself in the face yet. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go
So,
home.
yeah.
Oh.
I did go home.
You did
but
go home.
I punched myself in the face.
So Caleb and I go together over to this trailer, and we knock on the door, and Leo opens the door and was like, "Who are you?" And we're just like, "You just hired us to beat up Sean?" And he was like, "Oh, come on in." So he opens the door to this trailer, and
It's all Tweety Bird.
I wish. So his 400-pound girlfriend is sitting at the table, and there is a shotgun on the table.
Oh.
And there are two small children under the age of 5 on their hands and knees, and she is feeding them chicken like they're dogs, like they're jumping up
I'm
and
sorry,
getting it.
what?
yeah, when he told me this, because I wasn't there, obviously, I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, like they're like on full, like
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah, and I'm just like, whoa, okay. And so we're like, all right.
Appropriate reaction,
We
by the
beat him
way.
up. We got roughed up. Brett isn't with us because Brett kind of got fucked up when
that
we were
was the
fighting.
story,
That was
okay.
the story. Brett kind of got a little fucked up, so he's not with us. And he's like, well, I want to wait until the morning and make sure he's in the hospital before I pay you. So, you want any drugs, man? I just got out of prison, and I can get you anything you want. You want meth? You want pills? You want weed? Just like, well, that's all very good to know.
How about that fucking money tomorrow? huh?
yeah. It was just like, I'm like, oh my god, I really hope this guy doesn't find out that we didn't beat him up, because like that's a shotgun. This guy hired us to kick someone else's. Like what? I don't know
fucking
this. Mother.
kids
He's
are
just got out
being
of
fed like
prison,
dogs.
like dogs.
That sounds like one of my horror shorts that I watch on YouTube.
That's so like backwoods terrifying. Like
And so I'm like, I think I'm gonna get out of here, and we'll come back in the morning. He's like, hold on, honey, show him your tit. And
What?
This woman.
Did you say tit?
Show him your tit. This woman picks up her shirt. Her tit it's like here.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
god.
It's like this oval. It's like. It's like, I swear to God, this woman has about 50 pounds of tit going on, okay? And I'm staring at 30 of those pounds. So, like,
I can't look away.
this is.
You're really sad you missed
We
that.
gotta go.
I'm so pissed.
So, it was. I've never seen a tit like that since, or before. So, and I've looked on the internet. So,
not to to interrupt your story, but Kyle says he'll look at any pair of tits just out of curiosity. All tits are good tits. All tits are tits. How do you feel about that situation?
You know, I don't feel that all tits are necessarily good tits.
Okay.
But I am glad to have had the experience.
It's like, you gotta have the bad days to appreciate the good ones, right?
Absolutely. Like, it looked like a stocking at Christmas.
Oh my
Without
god.
the bend in it.
Like an elf sock.
No.
So anyway, so we leave. And we're like, fuck, like we gotta come back in the morning now, like that sucks. And so the next morning, Caleb had a band competition, so Caleb could not come with me. And so Brett and I with it was, I think Shad was in the back of the truck, and then a guy who was redheaded ended up marrying a girl named Maggie.
Jake Mayfield.
No, not Jake Mayfield.
Oh.
It wasn't Jake Mayfield. It was, I don't remember the guy's name, but for some reason he was there with us as well. And you guys, so we drive to the trailer, and they all stay in the truck because I told them that Brett had gotten roughed up. The other two people don't really have anything to do with it. So I go to the door, I knock on the door, and he opens it about this much. And he's like, I know you didn't do it. And I was like,
no.
And I was like, oh, fuck. I'm just thinking about the shotgun on the table.
Yeah.
And
And the tit.
Yeah, and I never stopped thinking about the tit. I want to crawl
every
into
night.
it and sleep.
That's why he was the only one to go to the door.
When I
He
have
was really
insomnia,
just hopeful
I'm
to
just
get a
like,
shot at the other
I just
one.
wish I had that tit.
the second
It's a big old love sack.
it plural, please.
Love sack. Oh, okay. And so he says, I know you didn't do it. And then he opens the door and is like, but if you still want to do it, I'll still pay you. And I want a guy beat up in Piedmont, and I'll give you $1,000. And I was just like, you're not fucking smart. We just tried to con you out of money. And you're just like, hey,
On to the
you want to
next.
hang out? You know?
I mean, he's been to prison. He understands, you know. He
been
gets
there.
the game.
And so he's like, you sure you don't want any drugs, man? And I'm just like, you know what? I will take a joint, actually. You can give me a joint. I'll smoke it. It'll be great. And so he starts rummaging around in his stuff, and he doesn't find. He's like, we're going to go. Well, I think I got some friends in the trailer park. And so we go to like 3 or 4 different trailers looking for weed. I see actively a woman cooking meth with a toddler on the floor. Right?
Feeding the toddler meth.
Right.
Like chicken.
Yeah. So he'll be up for 2 more days. You know, we go to these different places, and like the energy is just absolutely awful in every place that I enter, and I just feel disgusting. And like after a while, I'm like, listen, we're not gonna find weed. We're gonna go back. And so we start walking back, and now Brett's in the truck with the guys parked outside of this guy's trailer, and we're walking back toward the truck, and Brett still thinks that that Leo believes that he's gotten his ass kicked,
Right.
and so that's when you started punching yourself in the face when you were in the fucking truck. And I see you doing this, and I'm trying not to laugh at this guy. And he's like, is that the cops? I'm like, no, my friend's dad's a dentist. They just have a nice truck. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I don't know if we came to the car and
It
he
was
said
not a nice truck.
I don't know. It was nicer than the truck
For
I
the
was
year,
driving.
apparently nicer than what they have in the trailer park.
2001, yeah.
Absolutely. Pre 9/11 nice.
Right,
absolutely.
Tried and true.
So, you know, we end up like leaving or whatever, and I end up going over to Caleb's house. And again, you weren't with me for some reason. It was just Caleb and I.
I think I always had to take the truck back.
Yeah, you always had responsibility.
Yeah, right.
And so, Caleb, I go to Caleb's and I tell him, you know, what happened, and we're like, what the fuck do we do, you know? And so Caleb is like, I gotta call my pastor. And so we call Caleb's pastor.
You gotta call him Jesus.
Oh my god.
So we call Caleb's pastor, and he's like, you gotta call the police, you know, like that's the only thing, like what you saw with these kids and the drugs and this guy hiring, like you just need to call the police. And so Caleb calls the police, and he's like, I remember him saying this, I want to report a very large drug ring next to the Park Hills substation, police substation. And so we lay out the whole story for the cops. And they're like, we might be in contact with you. We might need you to like go in there for us. And we're just like, what?
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 They're like, we're gonna deputize you.
Yeah,
Stick you in undercover. You've already seen the tent, so you're in, buddy.
Michael.
And so we like shit ourselves, you know. We're like, what the fuck are we getting into? And then we never heard back from the cops.
Dang.
That's
They were
the-
like, we've been dealing with
Yeah.
this motherfucker probably for years.
That's how the story ends.
That is
a good story. That was a wild ride.
we had some good stories. And we haven't even got into the ceramic
real
shop
roller
stuff yet.
To be 17 again.
Whoa.
Go to strange ass fucking places looking
So-
for a single joint.
Yeah.
The dry season's right. Like, Lord.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a crazy time.
We had fun when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet.
There's footage of it. My Caleb had a ceramic shop. I was thinking about this morning. It started off as a ceramic shop, Carla's business. Then it went into Party Zone that we rehabbed and made Party fucking
and
central.
broke so many of those fucking
Yeah,
ceramics.
there was like a ceramic area in her back where she had just like shelves of these unpainted ceramics that she had put in the kiln.
to like
that
paint and fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were all fucking wasted over there, having
You
a party fucking back there,
dickheads.
fucking breaking them over
Can you
people's heads.
imagine?
I did when he was
Yeah.
telling me the story. I was like, were these like things she was never going to use again? Or you little assholes are just.
We were little assholes.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
We had no
assholes.
idea what she was going to use and not
Terrible.
I
use.
don't think she was ever. I don't think she was actually doing it because she let us build that place into like the hangout spot. She was
Right.
just done with ceramics, I guess. But we broke.
Maybe we were the reason she was done with ceramics, bro.
She was like, I
'Cause we-
fucking
Sorry,
can't
Carla.
restock now.
Yeah. I just want to go down to her store and break all the inventory and see if she's still into it.
No, you
Yeah.
know what? The funny is funny. It went from business to party house back to Jake and Caleb's business now.
Oh,
So
that's where they were operating out of?
Yeah, that's like their like training facility, and then they built a little place next to it, right next to the ceramic
Does
shop.
Caleb live in that house?
No, he lives in Bonne Terre, but
Okay.
Carla's never there. She's always like out on
Drugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's on work somewhere. She's for like 6 months at a time. So Caleb watches the house, and he just uses it as like a home base,
Yeah.
basically. And I think that they proctor all the people that come in, like in the house, like they set up like the HVAC system in Carla's house for those guys to like
Okay.
inspect.
what?
To inspect. Like they're
Okay.
teaching people how to like inspect the
Oh,
homes
you
and
never
stuff.
said.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
context.
Everything you
No,
say,
yeah, sorry.
I knew you just did it to the whole world.
Right? That's what I'm
So
saying.
Jake and Caleb proctor people to inspect homes and fix them,
Okay.
and that's as much as I know.
Gotcha.
Training
They
facility.
inspect people's proctor glands.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Prostate, right?
Yeah.
They proctor prostate.
We call that a play on words. my
I
friend.
get it. Oh yeah.
Hey guys, it's Tippy here from the Tippy Joe Show, and I want to talk about mental health. You guys know that we are huge mental health advocates, and we are all about getting the help that you need. And one great way to do that is with BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp.com is the world's largest therapy network, and it is 100% online. And with over 30,000 licensed and experienced professionals, there is definitely somebody there that is going to suit your needs. It's so easy to get started. You just answer a couple of questions about your therapy needs, and they'll match you with a therapist that's right for you. But if for whatever reason that therapist isn't a good fit for you, you can switch to a new therapist, no problem. And BetterHelp makes it super easy to communicate with your therapist. You can text, you can call, you can video chat, whatever feels right to you, they're there waiting to listen. And the best part is you can get 10% off your first month's service by going to betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's betterhelp.com/THEBARN. Bye.
Looking to cultivate your own cannabis? Visit Main Street Grow Supply, your local one-stop shop for all things cultivation and more. Located at 101 West Main Street in Park Hills, Missouri, Main Street Grow Supply offers a wide range of top-quality products and expert advice to help you grow your best crop yet. Whether you're a seasoned grower or just starting out, their knowledgeable staff is there to guide you every step of the way. From premium soils to state-of-the-art grow lights, Main Street Grow Supply has everything you need to nurture your plants from seed to harvest. So why wait? Visit Main Street Grow Supply today at 101 West Main Street in Park Hills, Missouri, and let them help you grow with confidence. Main Street Grow Supply, cultivating community one plant at a time.
You ever been part of a cult?
No. So, well, I mean, in his,
some
in
people
his,
say the communities is in.
yeah, no,
just,
no,
you know,
that's
you
a
gotta
that's a legitimate question because cults are legitimate,
Yeah.
and a lot of community is formed around cults. Like
Anthony Marcial.
like so, there's some really significant differences between an intentional community that's functioning and healthy and a cult. But the closest I've come to being in a cult was being a Christian, and I landed in a really healthy church community, so I didn't get the batshit crazy right wing shit about
Yeah.
Christianity. It was in a very liberal place. It was I found out what love was and how to sustain love, and that's what Christianity really fucking taught me. But I have known a lot of people, and I've been close to people who have been in cults, and I've studied a lot about cults as someone who started an intentional community that everyone's like, is that a cult?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, and here's why it's not a cult. So but I take, when I'm leading people or guiding people or holding space for people or inviting people into a space where they can connect, I take that really seriously, and I take my responsibility as a facilitator and the power that I have and the influence as I have of the face of that really seriously, because it could easily become a cult if I wanted people
You
to
got selfish and greedy.
yeah, and just wanted control. So if you're gonna do something like start a community, you have to be really fucking intentional about not guiding people just to
worship
adulate
you.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And if you build community in a way that actually makes other people's relationships more secure, and you give those people whose relationships don't involve you the freedom to interact and love each other, you're creating a healthier system.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways you can create a less healthy system and funnel people's energy and money to you. And I was very close with people who did that, and I never want to be that kind of leader. But there's different kinds of cults that aren't super serious, like cults of personality, people who have a lot of followers. And
Cult of Personality, great band.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know
a
that
song.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
By-
But I
Cult of personality.
I don't want to say it wrong.
Just say it, and then maybe they'll get it.
It's not, though.
But say it.
But it's not Flock of Seagulls.
but
Flock
for
of
some
Seagulls.
reason, my brain said
Personality
it
is,
wasn't. That's what I said.
You said it was a band.
It is.
Why do you
It's
even
not a
have your
band.
own show?
That's a very good question. I actually don't have my own
I
show.
got
I've
it,
got
I got
two
this.
co-hosts, and they're here to back me up when I get shit wrong. This isn't a cult; it's an intentional community.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
It's a living colors. Living
Color.
colors. The band.
Hey, close enough to Flock of Seagulls,
Hey,
right?
that's a good show.
But
Living color.
Living color.
yeah. So a few telltale signs of a cult. I'll just let you know. First, a cult leader is always going to tell you that everybody else is wrong, and that what this group believes or is focused on is the only thing that really matters. They're going to isolate people from families.
Yeah.
They're going to disconnect people from secure connections because they're more easily manipulatable like that. And they're also going to ask more and more of people as time goes on in terms of their commitment. This is what you see in Scientology. You got to pay more and more
Yeah,
and
to
more money.
reach each level.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be set up financially like that, but energetically, that's the way cults run. I try to educate people who are interested in community and who are going to be traveling and checking communities out.
Trying to let them know the red flags to
absolutely.
avoid.
Because they're there, and people abuse anything,
Yeah.
including our need for connection, and it's a really a serious problem. And so I'm passionate about not starting a cult.
That's good. That's a good thing.
But also helping other people, because what community can do, it can fucking set you free. C.S. Lewis said he had a friend who died, and I think his name is Bill or something, and he said that when Bill died, the part of me that came out in our friend group when Bill was around also died, because no one else brought that part of me out, and we can only be known by the people who we actually are in relationship with.
Yeah.
And the deeper you're known by people, the more you can actually be loved, especially if you're in a group, right? If you're in a web of connections where everybody knows each other, the way that you're allowed to hold space and love other people, it actually deepens and broadens quite a lot. You can show up in a lot of different ways that you can't just show up as one person. And that like web is just like, that's the nut. Like, I think that, like, I was a Christian. I think if the kingdom of God is real or whatever, it's at the very least, it's not less than a large group of loving relationships. Baseline. It can't be. And so the more that I can like create large groups of loving relationships in the world, I think the safer and better off a lot of people will be in different ways that I don't even understand, you know? And I'd rather people have that going into the decline of democracy than not. So...
Hey, we're actually
Well
talking
said.
about starting our own commune.
Hey, I can help the hell out of you.
I've got an HOA.
Look at you, man.
Oh,
They're
man.
not that nice.
That's a
That-
They're not that nice. They keep raising the water price and the trash.
That's nice.
They're gonna be after you now.
What?
Me.
Welcome, John. What?
It's a John Deere letter.
It is John Doe's like.
No,
John
it's-
Deere.
It's Dear John.
Dear
Yeah,
John.
Dear
John Deere.
John
Come on,
letter.
have you not seen Dumb and Dumber?
Oh.
Come on, Drew got it.
Just wasn't thinking
Right
about.
now, here I have today Dumb and Dumber. I mean,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And sometimes
John
the
Deere
sequel.
letter?
I'm sorry, you're with them.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Dumb and Dumber.
Or, yeah, that one. That fucking sucked. Shit.
Just kidding. Tina keeps telling me that we should be Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I'm like, absolutely not. We're
She
not
can
doing
be
that.
D. I'll be dumb.
No!
Don't you guys both have just bald, fat, round heads? Yeah. Aren't they just like...
Just every time you enter a room, you gotta
Yeah.
roll into it.
I mean, honestly, that does sound like something we would do.
Uh huh.
So,
Like I'm trying now. All I am is thinking of the song they sing in Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, what is it?
You should.
oh,
Think
you
of it
know what? I
later.
just thought about Oompa
That should be the
Loompas.
intro
That's-
to your show every week. Is that you should roll in here and do that little song, and then
When I need one of them rubber balloon balls like that,
That
dude
guy
on
on
America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Where
What'd he
the
do?
people that get inside the bubble.
The big old balloons?
Yeah. So he was like bouncing. I don't know.
Oh, that's so cool. Is it
very
the one that
entertaining.
like their head is still out and their feet are still
But
out?
he tucked his head in, and he was just like...
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, at one point he did, but his head was out. He just looked like this long. He'd
He just
jump,
looked
and it was
like a
like
blob
a...
with
Yeah?
a head.
What?
Yeah.
That's
And his
so
feet, like,
cool.
That was fun.
do you guys know like the big like balls you can get in and like roll down a hill?
Yes.
So I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Flaming Lips did a concert during COVID, and they put everybody in the audience in one of those balls.
No way.
Because
That
of the
is
social
the
distancing.
coolest thing in the
It
world.
was-
So
and
they
they-
were just smacking in each other.
Yeah, and they would like
Oh
crowd
my
surf.
gosh.
They would dance their own
That'd be
balls.
fun.
I would love that.
It just sounds like such a fucking dope. I wish I would have been there.
Man, I'm gonna
Yes.
put one on the water and just try to run.
They
Let's do it.
do that.
Can
They
we get
float on the
one?
water, yeah.
Yeah. They do
I'm sure there's a
that.
rental place in St. Louis that sells bounce
Can they
houses.
pull
or
us
something.
behind a boat?
I thought you wanted to get on the water and just run.
You would
No,
get on
I
a-
want to get pulled behind a boat
Why
now.
don't you just go tubing,
Yeah,
bro?
just get
I want to be in a ball. Fill it with a little bit of water so you're just sliding
See,
around.
those are the ones that make me worry. Weary.
Worry?
You know what I'm saying?
She's worried about being
Make
weary.
me weird. The ones that you put water in them.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
well,
feel
you
like
got
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
not
can
trying to
slip
drown.
around.
Drown. Well, you can just baby oil yourself
Yeah,
up so
that
you're
too.
slippery. You
Yeah,
don't have
just
to
grease
drown,
yourself up like a pig, you know?
Yeah,
just slip
absolutely.
and slide right on in there. You'll be all right.
No,
It's
they
a
got like
sliding
double
noise.
layered ones. They put water in there with you, and that's when you roll around in the water.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
You know what you could
fine.
do is you could freeze it and you could just go in ice, and so you
I'll
wouldn't
just,
get that.
I'll just leave them. I'll just get one of the regular ones. Run in.
Have you seen those sumo suits you put on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get those too.
We should
but
rent
not the
those.
ones that are like just air up because you know when you smash
Oh, like
into each
the-
other,
the
yeah,
big
they
ones.
inflate.
It's still
yeah,
bad
you
ones.
need the like the big ones that are like
Yeah.
the blow up things.
We could roll down the chat dump in those. Or the ball.
Chat dog.
Yeah, but
dude.
not anymore because it's rock.
That's what I was just about to say. It doesn't even
rocks?
exist
What?
anymore.
Where have you been?
I haven't looked
Yeah,
at the
isn't
chat
that
dump since
terrible?
I was in high school.
Okay, so or like right after high school, they they kind of slimmed it down and chopped the top off,
Yeah.
and then put fucking rocks all over it. And I think their plan was to make a park on top of it. So there's some trees
That's a
up there.
pile of lead. Why the fuck would they build a park on top of
I
it?
don't know. There's grass up there now, kind of.
Everybody could use a little extra lead in their life, you know.
Little lead never hurt
If you ain't
nobody.
drinking the water around here, they got to get it in you somehow.
That'll put
So-
some lead in your pencil. That's what my grandpa used to say. And so I have a lot of lead. That's why I have so many children. No.
So you're gonna perform for us today, right? Yes. Are
Yeah.
you super excited?
I am actually really excited. I'm a little like nervous. I haven't performed a lot yet live. I've done a few open mics at the Underground. So I practiced all day, and I just agreed that if I fuck up, I'm gonna keep going.
There you go. Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm really excited to play original songs for you guys.
How many are you gonna do for us?
I'm gonna do 3, and then I might do a cover as
Ooh,
well.
okay.
So,
Hey, I just want everybody at home to know that this is the biggest diva we've ever had on the show to date, just so you know. He required tea lights, 4 cases of Liquid Death, only green M&Ms. It was ridiculous, okay?
bitch, I'm worth it.
Yes, sir, you are.
and fucking sexy soft lighting like fucking Kenny G shit. So I'm like, all right, I got fucking 20 tea lights.
And we're gonna go full G, full Kenny G.
So excited
I brought my
about
saxophone.
this. Did you?
Yeah, what was it? The
Oh my
alto
gosh.
sax that guy was playing.
Oh,
The-
soprano
soprano
sax. We're like, that's a
Dude,
clarinet.
this dude on
Soprano sax.
AGT
Totally
last
forgot they
night
existed.
That's so
fucking
funny.
killed it on an alto sax. What was it, alto?
Soprano.
a fucking saxophone that looked like a.
He did kill it. He got through, but I'm like, eh.
I think the saxophone is one of the most underrated instruments because we got a lot of shitty saxophone in the 80s, and that was most of our experience with saxophone. But I work at a jazz club, and the saxophone, holy fuck, man. People
That's
can do
good.
some shit on the
Yeah.
saxophone.
I bet
like-
that's a good ass time working at a jazz club.
It's not bad. It's live
That's like the
music.
dream.
It's, you know what? You know, I like jazz.
Yeah.
But I don't want to listen to jazz 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
You don't?
Like, I love the Grateful Dead. I don't want to listen to the Grateful Dead 3 hours a day, 5
Yeah?
days a week. Like, so I'm kind of, and I get overstimulated auditorily really easily, and so it's just a really fucking stressful job. And all you hear is like you're trying to serve someone, and you hear mealy, 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 mealy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this sounds like a band falling down the stairs. And not all jazz is, I love some jazz. I love
jazz.
some jazz. I like some other jazz, but like, I'm pretty over it.
Even too much of a good thing can be
Yeah.
torture.
thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
Are you ready to pick up the guitar?
I
and
feel like
get
that's
in the stairway
exactly what's going to go on. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for interviewing me. Thanks for letting me be a diva. Thanks for the blue M&Ms. Appreciate
Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming
We're happy
on.
to, meet all of your very insane requests, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're happy to do that for
I
you.
already had tea lights. It's fine. They were just sitting in a
Yeah.
junk drawer.
This motherfucker wants tea light. What does he think
I was like, what do you need? All right, let's do
He
it.
was on it. As soon as he said it, he's like, I got some.
I got some electric ones. I got real
I
ones.
do.
I love
This
it.
man is a tea light collector.
I got lights.
It's
I just
probably a
collect
serial
tea
killer.
lights.
Hey, before we get into the stairwell, tell everybody at home where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok at xwildlikechildren, X, or on Instagram at wildlikechildren, all spelled correctly. I'll be releasing music on Bandcamp and Spotify within the next few months. If you follow me on social media, I'll definitely keep you posted about that. And I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to do this. I really appreciate it a lot.
Well, we appreciate you sitting down
Yeah,
with us, for real.
absolutely. I have a very, very small music career, and this is the biggest day of it so far.
Hey,
So-
Not even the karaoke in the basement.
well, nothing matches that. you know.
All right, guys,
Come to my
let's get to
basement.
some music. Hey, everybody, this is Tippy,
And this is Joe.
And you're listening to The Tippy Joe Show, sponsored by BetterHelp.com/thebarn.